They ruined it. Absolutely ruined it. What is up, everyone? This is ReviewIt. No, you know what? I can't do this. I cannot do this. I don't understand how this thing turned out the way it did. Avengers Age of Ultron had such a huge standard to live up to after blowing our minds with the first one, and it turned into this. Oh my gosh, this... I'm just kidding. This movie's freaking awesome. What is up, everyone? This is ReviewIt. I'm James, and now it is finally here, Avengers Age of Ultron, which was my second most anticipated movie right behind Star Wars. And it is finally here. It is that time. It is here. Yeah! So the Avengers Age of Ultron is pretty much the conclusion of Phase 2 of Marvel's cinematic universe. It takes place after the Avengers 1, obviously, but it also is kind of the culmination of all the events that were brought up in Iron Man 3, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Thor the Dark World, and Guardians of the Galaxy. So we have the Avengers team. You know, now they've been working together for a while. They're a really good team. They cooperate really well in a really awesome opening action sequence, by the way. When all of a sudden Tony Stark decides, you know, I'm kind of tired of doing this and we need an end game here. So what he does is he creates this robot, this artificial intelligence named Ultron. And the design of Ultron is to pretty much be this peacekeeping program that will kind of do the Avengers' job without them having to actually do it. But of course, this is a comic book movie, so guess what happens? Ultron goes mad crazy and is like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do what you want to tell me. I'm going to get rid of my strings, as he says, in such creepy ways. Now, straight off the bat, man, this movie's awesome. The action scenes are fantastic. This is Joss Whedon here, so he knows how to write some really good dialogue between characters. He knows how to be witty, how to be smart, but also at the same time how to be fun. So let's get into the acting real quick. We have the same crew that we had in Avengers 1, but we also have some new players in the game. So the new faces coming around in this film, we have Quicksilver, played by Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and Scarlet Witch, played by the third Olsen sister that just, her name escapes me right now. Any other day of the week I could tell you what her name is, but for some reason I have not been able to remember it all day. We also have James Spader, who is voicing Ultron. Now, James Spader is famous for The Blacklist and some other things. I've never really seen him in anything before, but man, he was perfect as Ultron. His voice was so menacing and just so creepy, but at the same time, he had some funny jokes, and he was just a good villain. And rounding out the new faces, we have Paul Bettany as Jarvis. Now, Jarvis has been an important character in Iron Man 1, 2, 3, and the Avengers 1, and he basically becomes the Vision in this film. I won't tell you how or what his importance is, but that's the deal. Everyone, acting-wise, is at the top of their game here. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is just as good as ever as Iron Man. Chris Evans is just as good as Cap. Chris Hemsworth is still a good Thor. Scarlett Johansson's great as Black Widow. Everybody's great here. I mean, this is a wonderful cast that is in this movie, and they are all just really good. Not only are their performances good, but their characters are good. Everybody gets some development this time around, including Hawkeye, the one guy who was like completely ignored in the first Avengers movie. Now, here's the thing. Every character getting some sort of subplot is both a good and a bad thing at times, but really it's my only negative thing about this movie. That one negative thing being the romance between Black Widow and the Hulk. It really just doesn't work, and the reason being, because let's think for a second. In the first Avengers movie, Black Widow was very friendly with Hawkeye. And then in Captain America the Winter Soldier, she was very friendly with Captain America, and it seemed like she's flirting with a lot of different people, and it just kind of didn't feel right. It felt a little out of place. Seriously, that's my only negative here, and I mean, for the rest of this review, it's going to be all about the cool stuff, because this movie's full of awesome stuff. The opening action sequence is awesome! The Hulkbuster scene is awesome! And the final scene, I won't tell you anything. I want to say something, but I can't. I'll do that in another video. But the final scene where the crap is going crazy, it's awesome. And to an extent, I can kind of agree that Ultron is not the greatest villain. He was still pretty good. And for an Avengers movie, he was much better than I was actually expecting. I was kind of, when it was first announced that Ultron was going to be the villain, I was like, ugh, really? But it turned out really well. And all the new characters are handled really well. Along with Ultron, I was also worried that this movie was going to try and put too much characters in, but yet each one of them is done really well. I thought Vision was awesome. I thought Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were great, especially Scarlet Witch. Like, oh my gosh, I loved Scarlet Witch, and I can't wait to see her in Cap 3. Civil War. While this movie is a little bit darker than the first Avengers, there's also a lot of humor here, and it's done really well. I mean, of course, Marvel seems to be pushing this boundary the past few movies that feels as if some of the humor is too much at the inappropriate times, but I really wasn't bothered by it in Age of Ultron. I thought a lot of the humor was good. It was really funny, and it came in at the right time to not make the movie feel so dark, because that's not what we're here for. These Marvel movies were not meant to be like Nolan's Batman trilogy, or God forbid, like Man of Steel. That's not how they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be fun summer action movies, and that's what they are. They're funny, they're entertaining, they're a blast to watch. I mean, oh my gosh, these are some of the most fun movies to watch. And they do it in such a way that blends all those things together. And it really feels like if they tried to be dark and broody about it, it just would not work anywhere close. It had a lot of bright points. Only one flaw for me, which was the Hulk and Black Widow's romance. I didn't like that. I felt it was too out there and too unbelievable. But overall, I feel like Age of Ultron is a huge success for Marvel. And I'm excited to see how this movie does this weekend. So overall, if you have enjoyed all the Marvel movies, especially Avengers 1, you're going to have a great time with Age of Ultron. I fully recommend it. It's probably, I mean, it's kind of on par with Kingsman as my favorite movie of the year. So, of course, I'm going to give it my highest rating. Oh my gosh, this is so freaking sweet, because that's exactly what this movie is. And I'm going to go see it again ASAP because I had such a blast. Even though this whole movie was spoiled for me like 2-3 days before seeing it. Well, that is all for this review. Thank you guys for watching. Hey, make sure to come back here on Monday, May the 4th, to get a very special video and a bit of an announcement for something that's going to be going on throughout May. Also, be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, tell them the awesome stuff that's going on at ReviewIt, and most importantly, subscribe, because it's awesome to me, and I'll like you a lot more. Thank you guys for watching, and got some more movies coming out soon, so make sure to stay tuned.